People who have adult children that don't talk to you. Why do you think that is? I was very deep in resolving my own trauma when my kids were growing up. I was often distant and emotionally unavailable. I wasn't the parent they deserved. It is the greatest sorrow of my life. I did to my kids what my mom did to me. I can't be sorry enough. Mom here. My 23-year-old hasn't spoken to me in 4 years. It was completely my fault. I've struggled with addiction, alcohol, and for most of her childhood I was bad. I hope to be able to apologize to her someday. But, I completely understand and respect her decision. My stepdaughter is an addict and mentally ill. Her son was placed in our custody by the state 3 years ago at 13 months old, and she has never made the effort to regain custody. Her rights were terminated last year, and we adopted him last month when the state gave us the choice. She has hated us ever since he was placed here and has convinced herself that we stole her child. She only contacted my husband if she wanted money, which he won't give her, so that makes her hate us more. Their dad gave an ultimatum: if they want to have a relationship with him, they had to go and see, edit, no contact, with me. My middle child agreed to those terms. I am a parent of a child who does still talk to me, but rarely, and I fully accept that it is my fault. I was an immature parent and made some bad decisions in addition to being inconsistent with my parenting due to immaturity. I am also on the spectrum, but that's something I didn't find out until a few years ago when my son was diagnosed. I know I wasn't great, and I understand my daughter, and I try to give her space. My father would say that my mother lied and manipulated us into taking her side during the divorce. The truth is that he boasted to me about pulling a gun on her to teach her a lesson, and then didn't understand why I thought that was unacceptable. I haven't spoken to him in a decade since that discussion. To this day, I believe he was contemplating murder-suicide or family annihilation. I have 4 kids. My 2 oldest aren't living with me. My oldest daughter talks to me some. My oldest son wishes me dead. I made many mistakes when my kids came back to live with me. Ex-wife lost custody. My eldest hated my LTR girlfriend. My daughter was right. She was terrible, and consequently, so was I. My daughter left to go back with her mother as she was not doing well here. I understand, now, why. My LTR made eldest son's life miserable too. During that time I broke up with the LTR. It was too late. My eldest son left to go be with his mother and sister. I am sure that my ex-wife is not helping this matter, but he is mad at me, and I know I made some pretty bad decisions. I have accepted the fact I may never have a relationship with him ever again. Not me, but I'm in a tight-knit book club with women older than me. This topic came up and I was surprised how many had a child who had cut off or severely limited contact. We didn't get into the details for everyone. It seemed some knew for sure and some didn't. They were all basically grieving the losses of their children. One woman had a daughter whose husband got into canon-type stuff. The mom is very openly liberal. She worries for her daughter, but tries not to push herself into their lives for fear it will remove any chance of future contact. One woman had no idea what happened. She went from reading her grandchildren bedtime stories over FaceTime to being told not to call again. One woman kept sending letters until they all came back unopened, so now she writes letters but puts them in a box at her house. I know this wasn't the point of this post, but I am the grown child. 5 years ago, on Thanksgiving no less, my mother told me my wife and I are bad parents because our daughter is an only child. Then followed it up by saying my wife graduated from a terrible high school. Not sure where that came from. She then topped it off with an ugly racist remark about my white sister-in-law being married to a black man. Lastly, she said I was not allowed to tell my wife any of this. That lasted about 45 seconds. And that was the end of that. I am very careful with advice that I give to my adult son for fear that he's going to stop taking to me. IMO the kid is making some decisions in his personal and work life that I don't agree with or have concerns about, decisions that I would not make based on experience or my personal views. I am biting my tongue to not say anything. I don't want to be a nagging parent because he is an adult and needs to make his own way. I will give advice when asked, but I've stopped giving out of the blue opinions. I save that for my high school teens still at home. /. Mine doesn't because I won't give him any money, because it just enables his addiction issues. It's very telling that none of the answers are from parents, all from children who know perfectly well why they went no contact. I don't talk to my parents because they don't make an effort to talk to me. Why should I give them the time? Abusive parents deserve no contact unless they can admit their faults and heal the wounds. Usually it's too late when we are adults. My mother, on the other hand, after years of no contact, came around and made peace. I'm still healing from her BS.